Hey everybody, Scott Steen with the winnersandwhiners.com coming to you from the Matt LePay studio deep in the bowels of the Winners and Whiners Sports and Entertainment Complex to bring you today's Deep 3. As always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Hey man, we went 3-0 yesterday. What are you looking for? If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, would you? And then make sure you click the bell so you'll be notified every time one of our new videos comes up. Make sure you check out winnersandwhiners.com, statsalt.com. Deep dives into every game going on. Check it out if you haven't already. It's an unbelievable source for information. So definitely do yourself a favor. If you're handicapping any of these conference tournament games and you want a little additional information, that's the spot to go. And something new I want to tell you about. I was supposed to tell you about it yesterday. And of course, being me, I forgot. So we're going to do it today. And I'll probably mention it, just about every show. We've got a new show going on at the old Winners and Whiners / Stat Salt complex. It's a young fella. He's a college student, and he is a hell of a capper. I had him on my podcast doing baseball a couple times last year, and he is really solid. His name is Scott Reichel, and you can find him if you check out the Stat Salt. We've got our own Stat Salt channel, and also Google Scott or Google. Hit the search on the YouTube Scott Selections, and you will see him come up there. He's gone. He's been doing some test videos that have been out there just a little bit. He's gone 5-3 over the last 8 games, and he's good. He's got good information. Here's the deal: if you like guys that just get right to the meat and not a lot of comedy and not a lot of goofiness like I do, check him out. He does one game every day, and he does a deep dive like nobody else on the internet. You think I'm lying? Check him out. Scott Reichel. Very, very good kid. I call him a kid, because he's probably like 22, 23. But to me, they're all kids. He's a good guy, and he's probably the best young capper that I have run across in a very long time. So do yourself a favor, check him out. All right. And where are we at? Oh yeah, don't forget to post your picks. Let us know what you're playing. Are you tailing me? Are you fading me? 3-0. You got some big brass ones. You say, hey. That guy doesn't know nothing. He ain't going to go 3-0 2 days in a row. I'm going to tail him all day long. Well, tell us that. Let us know. Let us know you're tailing. Let us know you're fading. And of course, tell us what you're on. Tell us what you're playing. You guys have always got a lot of great picks working in the works. So make sure you check that out as well. All right. So quick recap of yesterday. Like I mentioned, we did go 3-0. We hit Virginia. We hit the Florida under, and we hit New Mexico State. We had to sweat the Virginia game up until about halftime, and after that, took care of business. On the premium side, went 2-2. We started out strong. At one point, we were sitting 5-0 between the two, as K-State took care of business, and Auburn barely squeaked by the cover with Mizzou. They were a -9, and they won by 10. Sweet action. And in the nightcap, we had Texas Tech to cover. Yeah, it doesn't really matter how many we had them to cover. It might have been a half a point. It wasn't. It was a lot more. But for the record, they didn't get that done. They were terrible, awful. West Virginia, Huggy Bear got them ready to go, and they rolled right over the Red Raiders. First time the number 2 or number 1 or number 2 seed has ever lost in the first round. First time they played that tournament. So, congratulations, Texas Tech Red Raiders. And in the nightcap, we had Utah Valley State taking on UMKC, laying 9.5, and Utah Valley State won by 6. They woke up just in time to get to 6, but they needed to wake up about 3 or 4 minutes earlier, and they did not. So 2-2 on the premium side, 3-0 on the freebies. So we go 5-2 for the day. Not too shabby. And of course, if you want to get our premium picks, you know the drill. Hit an email up. We should have a link working here. Rumor is today. We'll see how that goes, but it should be working very soon, where you can just click on the link, like a normal person. But for now, you got to hit us up at service@winnersandwhiners.com. There's a lovely young lady over there named Marie, and she will answer all your questions and take care of you if you want to subscribe. So, all right, got all that out of the way. Thanks for hanging in there. Hey, let's do some games, shall we? We're going to start off with Memphis against the University of Central Florida. I'm taking a look right here at the first half under. Should be, I'm guessing, somewhere in the neighborhood of 71-ish. Total on this game right now stands at 147.5. So I'm thinking 70.5, 71 should be our number. You know what? In this conference, the Houston and Cincinnati defenses get all the publicity. But University of Central Florida, the Knights, they ain't too far behind. They give up just 63.8 points per game. And in the two games this year between these two teams, the total has split, and the game went over. And the game that did go over went over by 1 point, and that happened when both teams shot over 80% from the line. That is not likely to repeat, as Central Florida shoots 70%, and Memphis checks in at about 68 and change. So I think Memphis playing back-to-back, plus a little bit of those first half nerves, playing in the big arena. I think that makes those rims just a little tighter, especially right out of the box. I don't hate the full game under, but I really like the first half under 71-ish at this point. All right, moving on to the Big Ten, as the Nebraska Cornhuskers take on those Cheese Boys up there in Wisconsin. The Badgers 7 points favorites, and that's who I'm looking at. You know what? Nebraska's had a nice run so far, but just like when there's nothing left but kernels at the bottom of the popcorn bowl, you got to know when it's over. The Badgers are exactly the kind of team you don't want to face on tired legs. And Nebraska's played 2 games in a row. This will be the third straight day. And the lactic acid, excuse me, you're going to start feeling it in those legs just a little bit. Wisconsin is a team that likes to grind you to dust on both sides of the ball. They put up defensive pressure. They have long possessions where they try to force you into making a mistake as they pass the ball around, find an open man, and look to make the three or bang it inside. The Huskers have advanced partly because of their three-point defense. They've allowed just 27.8% of the three-pointers to be hit in the last 2 days. However, Wisconsin is a team that shoots the three ball very well, averaging over 38% on the season from beyond the arc. And I think that 27.8% rate for Nebraska at the end of the day is just going to be a distant memory. Give me the Badgers on fresh legs laying the 7 points. And we're going to finish off with a nightcap in the Pac-12 as the Colorado Buffaloes take on the Washington Huskies. I'm on Colorado right here. Colorado's catching 1.5, and I like it. This is kind of it kind of seems counterintuitive. It's different than the game because we're going to ride the hot shooter here. Colorado has really been getting it done lately. They won their first tournament game. They won 5 straight, and they've covered 4 times in that stretch. And they've been doing it with defense. They don't allow opponents. They haven't allowed opponents to shoot over 38% from the floor in those 5 games. The Buffs, they're a much better rebounding team. They're a much better free throw shooting team. I think what they need to do is just play good 3-point defense, limit the second chance points for the Huskies, and they should be able to take care of business. One final note: one of the reasons you'll see me fading a lot of teams that have played 2 or 3 days in a row. One of the reasons I'm not fading Colorado right here is because they're used to playing at altitude. All right, they're in great shape. The lungs are in great shape. The legs are in great shape. They are not playing at altitude here tonight. I think they got plenty of juice left in the tank. Give me Colorado plus 1.5. Give me the Badgers minus a 7. And give me that first half under in the Memphis UCF game. I think at the end of the day, you guys can join me just like you did yesterday as we head back to the window. All right, let's take a look at our shout-outs for today. Very good, very good. All right, Miguel Nola. Oh, nice. He's hitting. He's hit a world record betting day. He made 23 bets. He had 12 wins, including 2 parlays. He had 11 losses, but he made a profit of $7. Hell yeah, brother! That's what I'm talking about. Cha-ching, making it count. Hey, you know what? You make $7 a day at the end of the year, you got yourself over $1,500. So sweet action, buddy. That's you know what? I guarantee you, there is more than half of the country out there today after the day of college basketball. I guarantee you, more than 50% of the bettors would love to have a $7 profit. So don't beat yourself up, brother. Any win is a win, and we take it and we move on. Time Traveler Steve had a good day. Went 5-1. Said thank you, Scott. Thank you, Virginia, and thank you, New Mexico State. He had Buffalo first half. Whew, boy did the Bulls turn that on. He had UC Irvine minus 14.5, and he had K-State. Very well done. Terry Wise said, hey, great 3-0 today. Scott, thank you. You're welcome, Terry. Glad you were able to make a couple bucks out there today. Legion of Picks, he had Marquette. He had the UNC minus 7, UC Irvine, Wichita State as well. Very well done. Wichita State looked absolutely good. Must be tournament time down there in Wichita. Cody, he had SMU minus 1.5. Holy good call, Batman. Nicely done. Mark had Virginia, the Florida under. He had Nova over. New Mexico State. He said, stay hot, my friend. Mark, I will do my absolute best, I promise. Roland M., he had the Denver under and the OKC under. Hammer and Hank had KU minus 2.5. I also thought that was a pretty good play. I had somebody ask me about that in my email on one of our premium players. By the way, that's one of the cool things about the premium plays is you do get to ask me questions all day long about basketball. So that's happy to help. Had Xavier +3 as well. Todd M. said he understands unders in defense, but college needs to lower the shot clock again. Take a damn shot! That's a quote, by the way. Todd, I'm not going to say I disagree with you, man. It's certainly a lot slower than watching the pros play. They got it down to 30, but yeah, come on, TikTok boys. Ryan S. He had Virginia, and he was hoping for a couple trips to the Baja window today. Well, there you go, brother. The astute Aardvark, you know how astute he is. He tailed the Deep-3, and he had New Mexico State minus 13 in the second half. Cha-ching, 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 and cha-ching. So there you go. Little Taco had North Carolina Central. He had the Raptors. He had UC Irvine and those KU Jayhawks. C-Dub had Napoli over 2.5. Sevilla over 2.5. And Benfica over 2.5. That was the easy one to pronounce. Phil had OKC under 221. He had the Arsenal Rennes first half over 1.5. The Peach Waller, he had Florida. He had the UConn over. He had Southern Utah over. And he had the first period Washington over. First period Dallas under. First period Caps minus 0.5. And the Arizona Coyotes minus 0.5 in the first period. That sounds like a darn fine day, especially the NHL, Peach. Well done, sir. Eric T., he speaking of the NHL, he had the Flyers over in the first period, and he tailed the Caps first period as well. That's a good tail there, buddy. Super Cisco had the first half Ohio State plus 1.5, K-State, and Virginia. Landon H., he took a teaser with Virginia, Auburn, Buffalo, Florida under, and Villanova. That sounds like a cash right there, my friend. Nice job. Morning Money! Nice, with 3 Ys. One of the first times we've heard from him. Congratulations, Morning Money. He had the Tar Heels tonight. I'm surprised more guys weren't on the Tar Heels. I thought they were a decent pick. I thought there was some value there. Thomas M. had Virginia, K-State, and Villanova. Little Taco, once again, he had Toronto, Minnesota, and Mississippi State. Henry M. says he's been bidding against Chicago State all season long. They lose by at least 22 every game. And, yeah, true to form, they lost by 37 today. Yeah, like I said on that number, you're going to see a big number, 26.5, 27. Don't let it scare you, and I'm glad you didn't. I didn't have a lot of guys tailing that New Mexico State because they hate laying that kind of money, laying that kind of wood. But with Chicago State playing against New Mexico State, or really about anybody, that's a good play. Speaking of terrible teams, somebody had the North Carolina Central. They played against Delaware State, which is the name of the team that I could not remember, and I had a couple people help me out in the comment section, so thanks about that. I should have known that you guys would know who the absolute worst team in the NCAA was, because they are very, very fadeable, and they were fadeable today as well. Borno had New Mexico State. He had Florida State +1, Virginia at Rhode Island. He had the Arkansas, Florida under as well. Nice job, Born. Mikey B had the Coyotes money line. I say the Coyotes underline, because then people will watch this and go, does he not really know how that's pronounced? The Coyotes money line had the UConn over, and he had Dallas under 5.5. Well done, Mikey B. Danny D. I don't remember hearing from Danny before, so nice to have some hear from Danny. He had New Mexico State. There you go, brother. There's somebody that trusted that big number. Hell yeah. And Chris F., speaking of terrible teams with big numbers, he had North Carolina Central as well. Nicely done, everybody. I'm very proud. Everybody had a pretty decent day out there. Well, I'm sure not everybody had a decent day, but you know what? A lot of you did, and I would even say most of you had a good day. So you know what? Let's do it again today. I'm ready, man. This is the fun time of the year, brother. I'm going to put my foot on the gas for about the next 2 weeks, and then spend most of April catching up on my sleep. So looking forward to that. But until then, We got miles to go and lots of bets to win. So you guys have a great day. Have fun. And looking forward to hearing from you in the comment section. Don't be shy. Give us some comments. Give us some plays. And tell us what you're on. All right.